It is Tuesday, April 8th, and it is time to get in the weeds. I'm Jeremy Lambert. That is SP3, back for another show, 2 days in a row with SP3. Joel's still running from the grind. We don't know if he'll ever show up again. SP3, he may never return to this show. How you doing today, buddy?
I am doing splendid, my good friend. It's a Tuesday, so it's my regular day of the week. I'm supposed to be doing this. I did call that my missus was going to be upset with me for how much time I spent doing shows in the past 24 hours, and she was like, you spent all day in that room talking about wrestling, and I was like, yeah, it was a big show on Sunday that I had to stay up till 8 a.m. in the morning to talk about as well. So, and then she was like, you woke up at 12 and then you're in that room for like 4 hours. But here I am again in the room to talk about some pro wrestling. We had Monday Night Raw last night. Paul Heyman is at the center of a WrestleMania main event. On one main event night, we got the undisputed WWE Championship, the fate of pro wrestling. And then on the first night of WrestleMania, we have the fate of a 50-year-old man. I think I'm aging up, Paul Heyman. But yes, his allegiance is what's on the line. His loyalty and favors is what's on the line at night one of WrestleMania. Jey Uso is no longer.
Hold on. It's not just the allegiance of Paul Heyman. It's the soul of the industry as well. Seth Rollins made that very clear last night. It's the soul of the industry as well. We'll get into Raw here.
He was manipulating. I don't believe him with souls and stuff like that. The souls is on the line in night 2. That's already been established. You can't be stealing stuff. Can't be stealing gimmick. That's gimmick infringement. The Rock made the Cena versus.
Well, he doesn't show up
about souls. No. He is forever here. He is ever present, ever vivacious. He is the final boss, and he made Cena versus Cody for souls. So Seth, I don't believe you. You need more people. I don't believe what you're saying. But Seth got a great promo. We'll talk about that from Monday Night Raw. We'll also talk about Jey Uso getting serious. No more yeeting after the murder of his brother and no longer scared of Gunther. We'll talk about that from yesterday's show. Some good wrestling on the show. The 6-man tag with LWO versus Americano was a good one. You also had Lyra and Bayley for the Intercontinental Championship. A lot of matches for WrestleMania being made in very pedestrian, mediocre ways. Instead of hot angles, we just say, hey, yeah, I've been saying that you're not going to be in the matchup, but now you're in the matchup. And hey, I'm going to do a tweet and announce an Intercontinental title matchup. And hey, Rey Mysterio, you want a WrestleMania match? Okay, sure. Hey, that's how we make WrestleMania matches, as Jeremy
just point to the sign. That's all you got to do. Guys, if you're here, leave a thumbs up on the video. Let's catch the WrestleMania sign on fire. I can't speak when I say it, so we're going to pause briefly for fireworks.
Oh boy.
See? Boy. That's what it's got to do. Yeah. That's what you got to do. Leave a thumbs up on the video. That helps us out. Subscribe to the channel. That helps us out. Leave a super chat. Question, comment, statement read on the air. That helps us out. That supports all the contributors here on this channel as well. If you're joining us because you're watching the main channel yesterday, we are here live on Fightful Overbooked every weekday, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is usually myself and Joel Pearl. On Tuesday and Thursday, it is usually myself and SP3. But Joel was running from the grind yesterday, so SP3 filled in. I will not be running from the grind on Thursday. I will be taking a well-deserved mental health day on Thursday. So it'll be Joel and SP3 on Thursday.
So that's the other thing I want to promote on the show, because I'm not going to be with Jeremy on Thursday. And as much as the in the chat enjoys Thursdays for the one segment that we always promote, for Jeremy, I know he enjoys it even more than you guys. So for today, you'll get part 1 of SP3 reviews, C-level WWE shows, because I watched LFG last night, and we're going to talk about that on today's show.
All right. There you go. I've not watched LFG yet. I'm still behind. I had to cover Dynasty, do my usual shift yesterday, cover Raw last night. So I've not had much of a break to watch anything. I've seen some clips, so I can react to some stuff, but I've not watched the full show. So we'll talk about LFG. I was going to say FTG. I don't know what the hell FTG is, but that's literally what came out of my mouth. I don't know what that stands for.
You done with FTG?
Great. I don't know.
Yeah, you know me. You done with FTG? Yeah, that's everybody.
My brain's broken, so I'll be off on Thursday. I'll probably pop in the show just to keep up appearances and keep my streak alive, but I deserve a day of rest and break there. Oh, there you go. All right. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm reading this Ric Flair press release. It's not good. It's not like the worst thing in the world. But Global Gaming League raises $10 million funding to revolutionize gaming entertainment. And it is founded by Global Gaming League is founded by Clinton Sparks. You remember Clinton Sparks?
Nope.
No? Oh, okay.
Nope.
He's a music producer. Oh. All right. Clinton Sparks, T-Pain, and
I know him.
Yes. T-Pain has drinks to drink. You drink them, you get drunk.
With the bartender, looking for me at the bar with the okay.
The first team owners include T-Pain, Bryce Hall, Flavor Flav, and Ric Flair.
Flavor Flav, hotter than a hot shine slang.
Sure. This is the thing that's happening. Yeah. Sorry, that threw me off for a second. I just got sent this press release, so I'm like, what is this? What is happening here? Apparently that is happening. So there you go. Anyway, everybody, Ric Flair is now the team owner for Global Gaming League is a real thing going on. This is also factual, Xeno Hour. I hate AEW and I don't run a review of Dynamite on Thursday.
To be fair, after Dynasty, I don't blame anybody. Don't blame anybody for that.
I think Dynamite.
I love that people now use my position here against me in Twitter comments. Twitter comments like you're just a podcaster. You podcasters don't like John Moxley, so that's why you're upset with the result. And I'm like, no, I'm upset with the booker. I think that's the issue. Like, no, but it makes sense. It makes sense. They've been building this story since Blood and Guts. I was like, I did not say it didn't make sense. I said that it's not good. It's like the only reason you think it's not good is because you. Oh no. The other one was this guy last week. Got into an argument with him after the Collision episode where everybody was being announced for the Owen. Because I knew that the Owen would have 8 people in it because that's what they've done in the last 2 years is they have 8 people in the Owen. And they're like telling me, the loser of Megan Bayne versus Tony Storm will be in the Owen. I was like, no, they're announcing the bracket before Dynasty, before Megan Bayne versus Tony Storm. So they probably neither one of them is going to be in the tournament. It's like, how do you know? It could be like 8 people, 12 people. There's always a wild card. And I was like, most of the time, the wild card is not a person on the roster and is not a person that just lost a title match. I was very calm. I wasn't sarcastic at all in any of my responses, and they just kept being like, well, you get paid to watch wrestling. You get paid to do this and know stuff. I don't. I just have a random warehouse job. I was like, I didn't ask for a job. It's always faceless. It's always faceless Twitter accounts that I have to wind up blocking. I think I've blocked like 100 accounts this year. It's been a pretty good year in regards to my block rate.
No one argues with me on Twitter. Yeah. At least if they do, I don't see it. Although someone did DM me on Sunday night. Hold on. Very funny. DM. It was after I tweeted that why didn't Omega and Okada point to the sign? I was just doing a bit.
I need to put what you put in your bio, but I don't have any room. I don't have any room to put in my bio. That half the time I'm just joking. I'm just shooting the shit. Like, I think people really thought I was upset with Tony Khan after the ending of Dynasty. I was like, I'm in disbelief. I was like, stubborn, frustrating, tone deaf. I was like, no, I'm not any of that. I'm too tired to be any of that. It's 5:30 a.m.
So I tweet that, right? And this person DMs me and he sends me my own tweet. Thank you. And he just writes, WWE is better, you ugly, smelly loser.
Yes, let's go.
Like I didn't respond because I don't know how to respond to that.
Wait, I would have my you know what my response would have been? How do you know how I smell? Where are you? Are you outside my window?
Right, dude. It's like is one of my 12 kids have like Twitter and it's just like now just taking shots at me? Because it's clearly, so here's the thing, it's clearly a like alt account. Like literally the screen name is not an alt account and the username is secret account. So it's clearly someone who like he doesn't even use his main account. It's just an alt account that just joined. They have their tweets protected too, so I can't even like look at what it is. It's like you're gonna do this from an alt account and that's the best you're gonna come up with.
You gotta come harder than that, man.
Right. Like you've gotta like come up with something better if you're gonna go with an alt account. You can say that from your main account. I promise you're not gonna offend me on your main account. I'm not gonna block your main account for that. I block very few accounts. I mute a lot of accounts, but I block very few accounts. Like you're not gonna offend me if you're gonna say WWE is better. You ugly, smelly loser. You can do that from your main account. I promise you'll be fine. So weird. I saw that and I just laughed. I was like, I hope he created the account just to like do that to me.
I swear.
I should not have that much power, right? Like
you should.
Oh.
You have a verified account. I don't even have a verified account. So
the only reason
I'm very amazed when people find me. Like that Bully Ray tweet that got me blocked by Bully Ray. There's still people commenting on it, being like, "You fucking asshole. You disrespect someone who's been in this industry for years."
People like to use the you paid for Twitter thing. And I'm like, yeah, I did. But it's not because like I want this verified check mark or anything. It's because I use TweetDeck or Twitter Pro as they call it now. And that helps me work more efficiently. So that's why I paid for Twitter. I'm paying for TweetDeck, essentially. I don't care to have some dumb verified check mark. I don't care to get paid from Twitter. If I did, I would tweet way more outrageous things for engagement and everything. I don't care about any of that. I just need to use TweetDeck. That's all it is. And by the way, folks, I didn't pay for Twitter. The company pays for it. So it ain't my money.
My guy over here. Let's go. This man's a smart man.
I was like, I got to be able to write this one off. You know, can I invoice this one? Because this is how I work as efficiently as I work. And Sean's like, shit. I can't really argue with Jeremy and his work ethic. So sure, write it off. Can't really say anything about that. No. Spaceman saying, what's the WrestleMania 41 theme song? Fiend.
I saw when I was in the O2 last Monday. I saw some little kid was singing it. I was some little English kid just like fiend. I was like, oh, it's for them. It's for them.
People love that song, man. People love it. It's a good song. Like, I'm not gonna knock it.
Yeah, it's a catchy tune. I don't know what I think The Weeknd has the second song, but I never remember the second song. I always remember the first WrestleMania song every year.
It's timeless. The Weeknd and Playboy Cardi. One of the kids is a big fan of the Playboy Cardi, and so I told him that the Timeless is one of the WrestleMania songs, and he's like, oh, that's really cool. And then he just he doesn't care about wrestling at all. But Travis Scott showed up. He enjoyed that, and then when the Costco guys show up, they all enjoy that. So
boom,
all this stuff gets that demographic out there for them. Sadly, people showed up on Raw that didn't need to show up on Raw, but we don't need to give them any attention. But you know who did show up on Raw? SP3, that we do need to give attention to. That boring ass Minnesota couple. Taylor.
Hey, I actually liked them because she thought he was stalking her on Instagram.
Yeah, that's true.
And they did the whole cliffhanger. Like, oh my God, he's been following me. He knew how I looked beforehand. I have this app that makes me that I can see everyone who followed me and unfollowed me. I was like, why would you have that app? I was more confused on that. I was not concerned if he saw her beforehand or not. I was more concerned on why she has that app. But I was going to bring up a topic that's to what we were just talking about with theme. Your most memorable WrestleMania theme songs. Off the top of the dome, it has to be number one for me is Big Time. I'm on my way now. Get it. I love that song. I'm sorry. I still, every time I hear that tune, it puts a big smile on my face. I want to watch it grow. Yeah. And WrestleMania 22 is not even like the most memorable WrestleMania, but it has the most memorable theme song.
I didn't remember what WrestleMania it was for. So it was for 22. Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't Blinding Lights by The Weeknd when a WrestleMania theme? That had to be, right?
I'll be honest with you. All the WrestleMania themes from The Weeknd always blend together for me.
Ooh,
so
I'm blinded by the lights. We went skating. That's a good song.
Yeah, it is. It is. Ooh, I'm blinded. Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, Blinding Lights was actually the first one. So there you go. WrestleMania 36 was the first Weeknd theme. So we went skating the other week and that song came on and I was like, oh, WrestleMania legend, The Weeknd, WrestleMania theme song legend, Blinding Lights. That's a good song. So I don't remember the other ones. Like I'm reading the list here. I'm like, I can't tell you how those songs go if you ask me. But Blinding Lights was good. I'm bad when it comes to themes. Joel and I have had this discussion before. The only theme that I like was the SummerSlam theme. When it's up, then it's up, and it's up, and it's up, and the pussy bounce, and the ass bounce, and it's up, and it's up, and it's up, and the pussy goes up, and the ass goes up, and it's up, and it's up, and it's up. That's a good song.
I remember Crack Addict. I'm addicted to cracking skulls and both so static. Oh, WrestleMania 19. That's one of my favorite ones. I feel I have a hot take this morning. We're starting off with a hot take. The Stone Cold Rock Crack Addict theme video package for the WrestleMania 19 matchup is just as good as the My Way for WrestleMania 17. And the storyline is better for WrestleMania 19 than WrestleMania 17.
Yeah, the WrestleMania 19 storyline was really good because it was The Rock feeling it was his last crack at Austin, and he was 0-2 at WrestleMania against Austin. The storyline for 17 would have been good. I like the My Way video package that they like. There's a version where they just like cut out the Deborah portion, and that video package rules. It's like, yeah, we're just gonna remove this portion.
Boom! She's a non-factor. She's a non-factor.
Yeah. But the WrestleMania 19 is overlooked because of 17 and everything that came with it. What did you think of last night's the Cody Cena video with Shabuzi as in the video package?
I saw so many people saying they thought it was great. I just thought, I was like, it felt like propaganda It felt like WrestleMania. It felt like music video propaganda posing as WrestleMania build. I didn't like it. I really did. I'll be honest. Maybe that's another hot take for y'all. I didn't like it. What about you?
Is it because you don't like the Shabuzi?
No. I thought the song was pretty good. It made sense. It made sense with what they were going for the story they were telling. I just was like, I hope this is not. I honestly, by the end of it, I was like, I hope this is not the WrestleMania video package. I hope this is not what they play on the show.
Yeah, I hope not either. And the only reason for that is the video was so Cody centric.
Yes.
And if that's your WrestleMania video, it's got to be more focused on Cena as well. Like Cena is just as big a part of this as Cody. But it was very Cody centric and his story with everything. So I hope that's not the WrestleMania video package either. I thought it was good though. I thought it was, really well done. The song is not fully my cup of tea, although I do like Shabuzi. Like I like Bar's song. Granted, it's just Jaquan tipsy, but it's still like not bad. I have a soft spot for some country music. Like there's some catchy country music, and he makes some catchy country music songs.
There's some good ones. Okay, so since you don't really remember the music, your favorite WrestleMania video package that are not My Way.
I don't remember the music. You can't expect me to remember these video packages either. It's the Miz. It's the Miz. Hate Me Now. That's the only one.
That's a great one. That's a great one. My Mount Rushmore. If I was to exclude My Way, Mount Rushmore. Go ahead.
Real quickly. Okay, so the other one that always jumps to my mind is Monster, the Daniel Bryan song.
Yes.
Those are the
two. That's in my Mount Rushmore. That's also in my Mount Rushmore would be the Daniel Bryan versus Triple H Monster video. It would be Stone Cold Rock Crack Addict WrestleMania 19. It would be Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker running up that hill. Not the one that he actually did at WrestleMania 26. This is the video package of their build up from Michaels saying that he wants to face The Undertaker at the Slammies to Elimination Chamber, because they show us a whole different video. And I'm like, you showed us a better version of this and you didn't show the better version at the pay-per-view. So that always pissed me off. But that one, and then if I had to get a 4 spot, I would probably go with there's a few that's running in my head. Nothing that's oh no. Actually, number 4 is Cody versus Roman from last year. That was really good. When they used Imagine Dragons again.
Okay. I don't remember to tell the story.
I remember that one.
I liked this is my Eminem bias showing. But the Bray Cena video package where they used Legacy by Eminem. That was
yes. Well. That would probably be honorable mention. That would be number 5. That would be brilliant. I love that one. Yeah, this is my legacy. Yeah. This is what you see. And then how they splice in the Wyatt family stuff. That was great. It was great. Very well done video package. Yeah,
that one was good. So, all right, there's your video package. I think they'll do well with video packages this year, because you mentioned 40 last year. You know what else was a good video package last year was Bayley and Io. They used the Paramore song for that one. That was a good video package. So,
and the Jimmy and Jay, despite the match not delivering, the video package was great.
Yeah. It's tough to screw up a video package nowadays. They got so many highlights, and they actually pay for music when it comes to this stuff. So the video package is usually good. Again, I liked the Cody video last night. I thought it was really well done, and I didn't mind the song choice at all. So I'm sure the video packages will be really good. Oh, Jay Girl saying I can't wait for the Jade and Naomi video package. Yeah, that should be really good. Obviously, Cody and Cena will be really good. The video package for Punk, Roman, and Paul Heyman is just going to be Paul Heyman just owing everybody favors. Just, you owe me a favor. No, you owe me a favor, but you also owe me a favor. That's all it's going to be. What's a good song? What's like a good favor song?
Damn.
Real quickly, we got a. Well, you think of that? We got a question or a comment from Bargov here. It says, Jeremy SP3 question whether Paul Heyman is a genie. That was courtesy of Joel Pearl. He came up. He wrote that description today, so I will actually give Joel credit. I will not take credit for that. So, I mean, on that, it should just be, what if it's genie in a bottle?
Oh, I have the perfect song. I just looked it up. I just put in Google songs with Favour in the title, and guess who has a song called "Need a Favor"?
Who?
The best choke slam in the game, Jelly Roll.
Oh, okay.
This fits in. He's a friend of the company. He's like, they're gonna hit him up, call him up, be like, we need to use "Need a Favor" for our Paul Heyman storyline with Punk, Seth, and Roman, and he's gonna be like, you know what, you can have it for free. I want to be a part of history with this video package.
They might use that. They might. Let's talk about Monday Night Raw. Last night from Minnesota. The Stanley Cup was in the building for some reason. The Minnesota Wild have never won a Stanley Cup, so not sure why it was in that building. Doesn't
the
make
Mighty Ducks.
They're not from Minnesota. They're from Anaheim.
No, the original Mighty Ducks are from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay, they didn't win a Stanley Cup.
I don't know. I don't know about no Anaheim. Who cares about that? I'm talking about the District 5 hockey team. They are the OGs. I thought that the Stanley Cup was for Pee Wee hockey, right?
No.
Oh,
it's not.
My bad. I must have saw the wrong movie.
Yeah. So they didn't win a Stanley Cup either, but the Stanley Cup was in the building. Paul Heyman comes out and he says, I'm loyal to Roman Reigns. I'm also loyal to CM Punk. And then Seth Rollins comes out and he says, Roman Reigns doesn't care about you. He forgot about you. Where did he go? What happened after WrestleMania 40? He left. He left you with Solo. How'd that work out for you? CM Punk doesn't care about you. He didn't come back to save you. What happened when he came back and you asked him to be part of War Games? He didn't just agree to it out of the kindness of his heart. He made you owe him something. He made you owe him a favor. Let's see how much CM Punk cares about you. He starts bullying Paul Heyman. I was like, where is Punk? He's advertised for this show. Why is he taking so long to get out here? Why wasn't he out here much quicker than this? Seth continues to bully Heyman, and he says, I'm just going to remove you from the match. I will grant you that favor, Paul. I'll just do everyone a favor and remove you from this match. That way you don't get in the way. You don't have to make a choice. You're just gone. Punk finally comes out to save Heyman after Rollins.
No, you forgot Heyman being the New Yorker that he is.
Yeah, he was like, get your hands off me.
Get your hands off of me.
Rollins backed him into a corner after that. And then Punk finally came out to save him. And then Rollins hits a stomp on Punk, and as Heyman is checking in on Punk, Rollins goes for a stomp, but he pulls up a little short. Heyman did not move out of the way. I hope people are just dumb, but they're like, Heyman moved. Like, no, he did not move out of the way. Seth missed on purpose, which led to the line, now you owe me a favor. If Heyman moved, Seth does not say that line. Seth spared this man so he could get a favor from Paul Heyman. So, what is the favor that we think Seth Rollins gets from Paul Heyman, SP3?
Well, I unless Paul says he owes him a favor, I don't think that he owes CM Punk he owes Seth Rollins a favor. But if he is going to follow through and give Rollins a favor, I think that he screws over Punk, even though he's going to be in Punk's corner. Because, I love how this storyline is supposed to... that Paul Heyman started this promo saying, I'm loyal to my best friend in the world, CM Punk, and I will never be disloyal to him. And I was like, no, I actually saw that. It actually came after the promo where you said you were going to be in his corner when he main event WrestleMania. Literally after that, you did turn on him and cost him the Money in the Bank back in 2013 and aligned with Brock Lesnar and was in Brock Lesnar's corner when he faced him at SummerSlam 2013. I saw all of this. So if you want me to remember one thing and you're just going to tell me, oh no, the other thing didn't exist. No, now you're just lying to me. Now you're just, I don't appreciate being lied to, Paul. I know you've lied to a lot of people in this business, but you're lying to all of us as an audience. If you want us to remember that you said back in 2013, I will be in your corner when you main event WrestleMania, but then you also in 2013 turned on CM Punk. You are not going to be loyal to CM Punk, not for long, despite him being your best friend in the world. I do believe you will be loyal to your tribal chief because you have not proven me otherwise. You have been very, very loyal to Roman Reigns since y'all aligned with one another in 2020 for the past 5 years. So I believe that part. I can see Punk hitting the go to sleep on Seth at WrestleMania. He looks like he has it all won. Roman's out of the ring, and Paul pulls the referee out, screws over Punk. Seth thinks that he's all in the clear, that Paul's aligning with him, curb stomp to Punk, but then he turns around, spear to Seth, and then Paul Heyman puts the ref back in the ring because he is still loyal to his tribal chief. Maybe he gets something involved, but it adds more intrigue. I know there was people before last night's segment that were like, oh, Paul's going to screw over both Punk and Roman, and he's going to line with Seth. And I didn't think that was an actual possibility going into this matchup, but the promo that Seth cut was one of the best that he's done throughout the build to this matchup. And I think Seth has done very, very well as in this role of kind of being the third wheel, like we talked about yesterday in this whole program. But he's done very well with his reaction to Punk being in the main event and not wanting that, despite himself also being in the main event. I loved his whole coming into Friday Night SmackDown when he showed up and he says that, yeah, he was upset last week, but now he has a plan. And then we saw the plan come out here. I thought that it was a very strong closing segment because you had Seth Rollins manipulating the master manipulator and really going back to his architect days from being in the Shield and Authority. He was very much manipulating Heyman and kind of construing a lot of the events that have happened over the last year, with Roman leaving him behind and what happened to him in Madison Square Garden, and knowing his kids' names, really tugging at the heartstrings there, talking about Punk leaving and trying to tear down everything Paul Heyman had built. Paul Heyman is in a management position kind of unofficially right now, so like all of that was kind of using real life as well in the promo again. So I loved Seth's work with the promo. I just don't agree that Paul Heyman owes him a favor. Yes, he spared his life, but Heyman has to be the one that says, okay, I owe you now.
I'm with you. Why should Paul Heyman give Seth Rollins any type of favor? If Seth wanted to spare him his life, that is Seth's choice. I would look at Seth and be like, you dummy, you should have just hit the stomp. I'm not giving you anything. And then just go about your business. Like, why would Heyman agree to anything that Seth decides to cash in, whatever this favor might be? If Seth wants him to turn on Punk, Heyman should just be like, no, I'm not going to do that. Thank you for sparing my life. You should have ended me. I'm in CM Punk's corner at WrestleMania. You deal with him. You take him out. And that'd be that. Seth should have taken him out. If I was Seth, that's what I would have done. But Seth now believes he has some mythical favor from Paul Heyman. And maybe he does have this mythical favor. I'm sure they didn't do this segment just for Paul Heyman to be like, no, I'm not going to do this. So I assume there will be some sort of favor cash again on this, as far as what I think it is. I don't think it should be Heyman screws Punk or Roman because Seth asked him to do it, because Seth owes him this favor. Because that feels too, like, why would Heyman agree to that just because Seth didn't stomp him. Like how if you're Heyman, be like, I had to screw you over. I owed Seth. Then I'm looking at Punk. If I'm Punk, I'm looking at Heyman like, why? You didn't have to do that at
You didn't
all.
agree to any favor. You agreed to a favor with me. That makes sense. But you did not agree to a favor with him.
Right. The next time Heyman shows up, if I'm Roman, I'm just be like, I could fire you. I'm not going to. You owe me a favor, Paul, because I'm not going to fire you. Just everybody just going to Heyman. It's like, I could punch you in the face right now. Not going to. You owe me a favor now.
They should test Heyman's cardio. They should test his cardio and have Heyman be in everyone's corner. Like he comes out with Punk first, then he has to run all the way up the WrestleMania stage. He has to come out with Seth. Then he has to go all the way up the entranceway, and then he has to walk out with Roman. He does Roman last because at least Roman's going to slowly go to the ring so he can catch his breath after running up the entranceway that many times.
They got to get the WrestleMania ring cart. They got to get the Kevin Owens golf cart, whatever it might be. They can't have old Paul running back and forth like that. No, can't do that. You're trying to kill that poor man. He's going to be out there looking like Tanahashi at Genesis, just on his last legs, about to fall over. Can't do anything.
The Taguchi spot. We just do the Taguchi spot, but with the Heyman.
Yeah, that's how he's going to look, brother. Like, it ain't going to be pretty for old Paul Heyman if they try to do that shit. Now, if I'm Heyman, though, I'm like, I'm not giving you anything. Sorry. Appreciate you sparing my life. I'm not giving you any type of favor. Roman Reigns is going to return next week on Raw. We'll see what he has to say. I assume he's not going to be on SmackDown, but maybe he is. Maybe they'll announce him for SmackDown, but I figured they would have announced it for SmackDown already. Somebody from this match has got to be on SmackDown, right? Like,
yeah, I would think so, because that's like, it doesn't seem like we're going to get Cody and Cena next week on Raw. Maybe we get an announcement during the week that Cody's going to be on SmackDown this week, and we could do something with Cody for this week instead of just another music video. So I don't know. But I do like the fact that it got center stage on Monday Night Raw. I was asking for Cody and Cena to get a main event segment on Raw. I thought that if you switch last week's promo with Cody and Cena with the main event of Rio and Io with Bianca as special guest referee, then last week's Raw is probably the best Raw on Netflix. If you switch those two segments, if you would have had the title match first and the promo last, that's a great episode. But I like the fact that the whole Heyman, Seth, and Punk was the main event segment, because it did add some further storyline into that program, which I think has really turned into one of the better builds for WrestleMania this year.
I still don't love that it's just centered around Paul Heyman and it's not a title match, and we don't know if there are further stakes into making it some sort of title match. Like, does the winner get a title shot? Theoretically, they should, right? Like,
why do you need a title shot? Paul Heyman is more valuable. He's a New Yorker. He's a WWE Hall of Famer. He's a former owner of a promotion. He's a manager of champions. He has big cell phones in his collection. He has 1 million hats that can fit ponytails at the back of them. Come on. He's a wise man, an advocate, a best friend, a special counsel. That's way more valuable than some prop title. You guys are ridiculous. Wrestling fans are not, you don't understand. People are more valuable than objects.
I'm actually in agreement with you. I know that probably isn't too shocking. That title, you got to carry it around everywhere, getting it through customs and whatnot. Heyman, you can just leave him at home and he can take care of all this stuff for you. He can set up all the travel and whatnot for you to make your life easier. So yeah, I'm way in agreement here. He can ward people off too. You know, the title, everybody wants to come up to you. Can I get a picture with the title? Can I get a picture with the title? No one's like really coming up to you with Paul Heyman. Can I get a picture with you and Paul Heyman? Paul Heyman's like, no, get out of here, dork.
Yeah, you can get a picture with Paul Heyman and I can keep walking. Yeah. That works out great. I'm sorry. I feel like this is the right move. This is the right move. This is absolutely the best move possible, in my opinion. I think that, you know, look at like WrestleMania 5. That was, you know, everybody wants to say, oh, WrestleMania 5 main event, Hogan versus Savage was for the WWF Championship. No, it was for Miss Elizabeth. That was the real valuable piece right there. I don't like women being viewed as objects, but Paul Heyman I'm fine with.
Wow. What? That's a little sexist, SP3.
What?
Yeah, that's a little sexist.
I mean, to be fair, Paul Heyman, he did make people bounce. He did give people bounce checks. So,
yeah. Still though, he didn't give you a bounce check.
You don't know that.
No, true.
He gave me the worst wrestling event I ever went to live, which was WWE ECW at the Hammerstein Ballroom when Batista faced Big Show for the ECW Championship.
Oh, that sounds like it rules.
You go back and watch it. I don't know if it's on WWE Network or Netflix, wherever you watch it. You go back and watch it. You can see me very obviously. I'm in the second row. I'm wearing a bright orange button-down shirt, and I was sitting next to my old Indian boss at Vector Marketing when I used to sell Cutco knives.
Cuckold knives?
Cutco.
Oh, okay. Okay, cuckold knives are what Joel Pearl uses. So, Batista and Big Show sounds like a great match. I don't know why you're complaining about that match. That seems like it rules. Cam's in the chat. Cam, what's going on? Great feature on Ricky Starks this morning for the Ringer. Cam is always bringing heat with his words. So Paul Heyman, you get the services of the wise man, advocate, friend, manager extraordinaire. And SP3 and I are in agreement. Way more important, way more valuable, way more useful than a championship.
Indeed.
Go get yourself Paul Heyman and the soul of the industry. Although SP3 will argue that the soul is also on the line next week, but the soul's also in like a briefcase. But I think it's also like in Jon Moxley as well.
Yeah.
He said that too. So a lot of souls just kind of floating around. You can just
to be fair, with the WWE souls, they're going to be decided on WrestleMania in 2 weeks. We have to wait 3 months for the soul of AEW to go to somebody else besides Jon Moxley.
Oh man, there's a pay-per-view in between. There's Double or Nothing. What if they put the souls?
Come on. We know Tony. He's going to do Anarchy in the Arena.
Hold on. That's actually probably true. But since the show's called Double or Nothing, why don't they do Swerve and Moxley Double or Nothing? Swerve has to put his soul on the line in this match. And then Moxley might have 2 souls. Or Swerve could win and he gets the briefcase with the alleged title, maybe a soul in it. Who knows what's in that thing. But I want to see use of the Double or Nothing stipulation. Someone needs to like make a Double or Nothing bet and lose that. So I think Swerve should put his soul on the line in this match.
Well, to be fair, Jeremy, if you ask certain brothers in the industry, Swerve's soul has not been with him for a very long time. But anyway,
I'm not commenting on that. I listened to it.
You set me up
night.
for the joke. You set me up for that joke. I like Swerve. I'm a fan of Swerve. I like Swerve a lot. I'm not one of those brothers in this industry that feels that. But oh man, that's a whole bunch of drama there.
I'm not gonna comment on that. I listened to what Booker T had to say. The article's up on Fightful. Go listen to Booker T or don't listen to Booker T. I don't care. I will comment on something else though, since we're talking about stuff of this nature. Can we shut the fuck up when it comes to these press conferences and the questions that are asked or not asked? Why are people going after Malcolm for his Waffle House question that he asked to Tony Storm, of all people?
Exactly. Who literally it's because people are only seeing a clip. They're not watching the full press conference, which I wouldn't suggest you to do it anyway. But it's Tony Storm. If you have watched one press conference with Tony Storm, you should just kindly sit the fuck down. Just sit the fuck down. Tony Storm is good. Kate said it in one of the comments. Kate has asked a question about, what do you think about facing the free agents in the industry, the biggest free agents, talking about Mercedes Moné and Deonna Purrazzo at that time. And Tony Storm made it about her challenging Wendy Richter. And then that became a bit for the next 8 press conference. And she started off the press conference with a poem about Nantucket and dropping some nuts and sex. Like, what are we talking about here? Are you fucking kidding me? We're getting mad at Malcolm, who asked the Waffle House question to The Rock.
Even if you hadn't watched the full press conference and you did not see Tony Storm say, give me something controversial so I can storm out of here. Even if you did not see that portion of it, it's Tony Storm. It is the most in-character character in wrestling when it comes to this stuff. Asking her a serious question is a waste of time because you're not going to get a serious answer out of her. She's not there to give you serious answers. What are you supposed to ask Tony Storm when it comes to this? No, I love that she does these press conferences because she doesn't give these long answers. She does her bit. She gets out, makes the thing go much smoother, makes me have a much earlier bedtime, which I appreciate. But she's not a serious person on these things. Why are we like, oh, that was a waste of a question. Oh, they need to ask real questions at these things. To an extent, I agree. And Joel and I have talked about it for many times after these press conferences of like, why wasn't this asked? Why wasn't that asked? You have an opportunity to ask this question to this person. You should probably do that. We understand not everybody feels comfortable doing that. Not everybody is there for that. We get that. But if you have a chance to ask Triple H a question about an ongoing lawsuit or Tony Khan a question about safety, you should probably do that if you have the opportunity. Tony Storm is not the person that is to be asked these questions.
Tony Storm, the person to die on that hill for.
Oh, Tony Storm, you should be asking, what's your Waffle House order? I actually think Malcolm screwed up his question by framing it in the way he did. Because he's just like, hey, what's your Waffle House order? Because he asked everybody that. No, you got to frame it to fit Tony Storm. Tony, after a night of alleged ravenous lovemaking where you have left many men and women limp and withered, you might be a little hungry after that. Waffle House is open 24/7. If you went to Waffle House after your night of running through men and women, what would you order? That should have been the question to Tony Storm.
You frame it as, Tony, if you were playing a role of a hungry wrestler who has nowhere else to eat besides Waffle House, what would you order? Simple to the point. You're playing a role. What would your character play? What would your character order at Waffle House? He just had to frame it better. That would be my only critique of what Malcolm said. I agree.
Real advice to Malcolm, not this dumb outrage people have. I can't believe that was a talking point afterwards. Like, what?
I did see something like that. I was just shook my head. I was like,
can we not?
What are we doing complaining about questions at press conferences? That's so 2024.
It's every press conference, and truthfully, I'm not just saying this because I have to stay up late and cover all of these press conferences. I wish they would just do away with them. They don't serve.
Yeah, I stopped
much
watching.
of a
I stopped
purpose.
watching. I stopped watching WWE and AEW press conferences. The only press conferences to watch is from the King of Sports 2025 Promotion of the Year, Shin Pro Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling.
They don't serve a real purpose. You get maybe one or two insightful answers, and then even that is such a surface level answer. But they're gonna keep doing them. You know who's actually good in the press conferences is The Rock. Like when The Rock shows up and he answers these questions, he's actually very good at them. Yeah. But he's only gonna be there maybe one more time throughout. Like everybody else, the answers are whatever. There's nothing else. The press conferences suck. The AEW ones have gotten like really just pointless because Tony does a media call beforehand anyway. Like he does the media call before the pay-per-view. So doing one after, the only things that like you're going to be able to ask him are like, "Hey Tony, tell us what a great pay-per-view you had." It's like, "Oh, okay. Well, it was great, everybody. We had a great show. A lot of great things happened." And then he runs down the entire card.
I would have been like, I think the only question we're faxing was, why? Why? What you saying fuck me for? Like, that's would have been my question to Tony.
He got asked about that stuff, and his answer is just like, "Oh yeah, I listened to fan feedback. I thought it was very intriguing that the Young Bucks returned, and that what's that going to lead to Dynamite, and Swerve's a great champion, and Jon Moxley has done great things for the company." And I'm like, okay, it doesn't answer the actual question. So
no, he doesn't answer it at all. But that's why I said my follow-up question would be like, so what you're saying is fuck me though? Like what? Like it's just about what you think? It's all about what you think, what you want to do? Okay, cool. I thought this was the place where we take fan feedback and we take it to heart. But I guess not.
It's the press conferences are pointless. And they don't serve. They just don't serve a real purpose. But I guess they'll keep doing them. Just stop starting them at 1 a.m. Knock it off. I'm tired of that shit. Sorry to veer off course there, everybody. WWE RAW. As we all expected, Rhea Ripley got added to the women's world title match. Bianca is like, why are you here? What are you doing? But I'm happy you're in this match because now I can beat you. And Io is like, both y'all shut the hell up. Adam Pearce didn't even bother to try with this. He's just like, yeah, you're in it. I give up. I'm done. I'm done with this. Grow some balls, Adam Pearce. Stand up to Rhea Ripley. She stole the contract and signed her name. She lost 2 matches. She doesn't deserve this spot. She's being whiny. Don't give her what she wants. She's a child. It was expected, SP3. What'd you make of the segment?
It sucked. Let's be real. Let's be real. We literally dragged this story out. Like, after she signed the contract, I wish they would have just made it a triple threat. At that point, just make it a triple threat. We did not need to waste 3 more fucking weeks to get to the result that we knew we were going to get. We knew we were going to get this shit after Io won the title. But we've had to go through 8 weeks of television. Well, it felt like 8 weeks. It's probably been less than that. Yeah, it's been the 3rd, the 10th, the 17th, the 24th, the 31st, and this week. So 6 weeks of television to get to the same result we all freaking told what we're going to get. And after last week, I was like, Adam Pearce, I'm looking at the entranceway in the O2. I was like, Adam Pearce, just come out and announce it's a triple threat. No, we needed another segment of like they've had 3 of these that have been exactly the same. Rhea's whining and complaining. Now you got Bianca whining and complaining. Io being disrespected. Why couldn't we just give Io some agency in this goddamn storyline and give Rhea a spot in this matchup? Because Rhea gave Io a title match that she did not earn. She lost the Money in the Elimination Chamber qualifier because of Rhea. And Rhea, out of the kindness of her heart and feeling like she wronged Io, gave her a title opportunity. So how about we not disrespect Io for 6 fucking weeks and give her some goddamn agency in this goddamn forsaken storyline and have her be the one who says Rhea Ripley is in this match instead of Adam Pearce, who went 5 fucking weeks telling us, Rhea Ripley, you're not going to be in this matchup. Rhea Ripley, you're not going to be in this matchup. Rhea, you can have your rematch earlier. Rhea, you can have your rematch earlier. Rhea gets the rematch, and then next week he says, you know what? She's in the matchup. Oh, I was so annoyed. This was a segment that could have been an email. This was a segment that could have been an email and that we could have done this weeks ago. I was so annoyed after watching this shit because this matchup is going to deliver. It's going to be one of the best matches at WrestleMania. But boy, oh boy, have they dragged this shit the hell off. I saw people, and I won't name names. I won't name names at all. But I heard people telling me that this is one of the best builds to WrestleMania. Bull fucking shit. You haven't been watching if you think that.
Ryan saying, I swear Rhea got a concussion after Io hit that drop kick to Rhea's back and to Bianca. It looked rough, but there's been nothing coming out of that Rhea is hurt or anything. So hopefully she is fine. But yeah, it looked a little rough. We knew what was going to happen. It happened the way we got there. Like, it makes sense. I'm not going to say it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make Rhea look good. Like, Rhea just, as I've said for weeks, just comes off like a whiny child. And
I don't think anyone looks good. I don't think anyone looks good in this whole story right now.
I think Io looks okay because she's just like, can y'all shut the fuck up before I slap all of you? Like, Io looks fine, but she gets little sistered by Bianca and Rhea, which isn't great. But at least she stands up for herself. And she knows she's getting little sistered, and she's like, I'm not taking this bullshit from you guys. So I think Io's been looking okay. Bianca, yeah, she hasn't looked great because she just gets booed and everything. And so that makes her not look good. That's not through real fault of her own, but she should stand up to Rhea a little bit more and be like, quit crying. Go to the back of the line. This is about me and Io. You don't go here right now. You lost your match because you were in your feelings after I cheered for Io. So get out of here. But Rhea's just a perpetual child who just keeps bugging you and keeps bugging you and keeps bugging you. Can I get these shoes? Can I get these shoes? Can I get these shoes? No, you can't get these shoes. Hey, can I get these shoes now? How about now? Now can I get these shoes? Now can I get them? And you're just so worn down. It's like, fine, shut the fuck up. Yes, you can get the shoes. Just go away. Get out of here. That's how she is.
The Stewie Griffin. Mummy, mama, mum, mother, me, mum, mummy, mommy, mom. That's Rhea Ripley.
I
don't think anybody looks really good here because I think that they made Bianca look like an idiot who didn't know how to referee. And Adam Pearce looks like a very incompetent authority figure because he is upset that the combustible matchup that he set up with Bianca Belair as special guest referee combusted. Like that's like leaving fucking something on the stove and just leaving it and then watching TV and to be like, oh shit, there's a fire. Oh my god, how did this happen? Who did this? Who would do something like this?
He's the hot dog meme from Nathan For You. Just like, we're all looking for the guy who did this here. I can't believe I mixed these chemicals together knowing they would explode. And they exploded. How did this happen? It's like I was better than Wolverine says, Rhea carried her way and lost her way into the title match. I hate it. Yeah, that's what happened. I said after she lost the title, I was like, she should be told to kick rocks. If they had done something different to where she won a match or two to getting there, because they were trying to kind of do the WrestleMania 20 angle. But at least with that angle, Shawn beat Stevie Richards. And so he could get into the match. I know there was a lot of evolution interference and everything. Like, Rhea didn't even beat Bianca or Io. She got the match thrown out by Bianca as a special guest referee. You know what they should have done? They should have done the Austin Foley finish, technically Dude Love. They should have done that finish last week. And this would have hopefully made Rhea a big time heel. Bianca gets knocked down, whatever, and then Rhea cheats to beat Io. She just beats her down with a chair, hits the riptide on a chair, whatever she has to do, slide the chair to the ring. Bianca's knocked out, and Rhea takes Bianca's arm and counts the 3. That would have been a total heel move from Rhea. She probably still would have gotten cheered, but she's the heel.
That's what I'm like. I made the face. It's like there's nothing they could do to make Rhea Ripley the heel here.
But yeah, really I agree. But she is the heel. At least then there's an argument for her to be in the match. Like, I won. You counted the pinfall. Sorry you weren't alive to count it, but you counted the pinfall. I beat you. I should be in this match. Technically, she wouldn't be wrong. If you're going to make her, like, that is the issue, though. They can't make her a heel because she is the heel and she just keeps getting cheered. So even though I think my idea is very good and it would establish her as the full-on heel, and she's probably just going to get cheered out of it. So
yeah, so it won't be effective. It'll be the Becky Lynch turns heel at SummerSlam 2018.
And they shouldn't position her as the damn heel.
No, they shouldn't. I agree. This is not a very well-booked feud. That's the point.
They're positioning her as heel, but she gets babyface cheers.
This is not a very well-booked feud. That's what I'm saying. That was my big point at the end, was that people telling me that this is a good build, you have not been watching. They have dragged this out for 6 weeks. For 6 weeks. We knew on March 3rd when Io Sky won the title that we're getting a triple threat. And they have dragged this out for 5 more weeks before they finally announce that it's a triple threat. Long-term storytelling. Oh, it's episodic. We had it week after week. No, they just did the same segment 3 weeks in a row and then a match in between.
Wasn't good. But that's the match we're getting. That's what we're getting. Ryan sends us a super chat. Is Carlito alive? That spear rolled. What a spear.
One of the greatest spears of all time.
Absolutely rolled. Just launched from like 30 feet out. I know it wasn't quite that long, but just launched himself. Flipped over. Carlito sold it so well. Oh, so good. I don't know how he's going to top that one at WrestleMania, but I assume he's got something up his sleeve. They announced that was a match before Raw went on the air. So it's Braun Breaker, Penta. Yes. It's Braun Breaker,
we
Penta.
don't do angles to set up WrestleMania matches anymore. We do tweets.
I mean, they did a video. It wasn't just like a tweet. It wasn't just like, here's the match. Pierce kind of
video of Pierce announcing it.
The angle was set up in recent weeks with everything. No. Like, do you think this would have been better if they just did the same thing they did on Monday, and then after this angle that they did, then they announced it? Like, would have been more serviceable to you?
Yeah. Or it gets announced, or you can be like, we can follow up from last week where Finn said he was going to go talk to Pierce. Liv said she was going to go talk to Pierce after him. And then in the segment that we got on this show where they're talking about it's been announced the matchup, we could have got Finn Balor to be the one to come in and be like, yeah, I just finished talking to Pierce. And he says that at WrestleMania, it's going to be me versus Penta versus Braun versus you for the Intercontinental Championship instead of it already being announced in a tweet. I think that it would have been more effective if everything is made on the actual TV show. Unless you do, I think the only time it's acceptable is when you do a big angle and then it's announced right after the show, like what they did last week with AJ and Logan Paul, even though that wasn't a real big angle and I didn't like the segment that to be fair, I didn't hear the segment because we were booing Logan Paul. But the Roman, Punk, and Seth, the original brawl that they had when everybody pointed to the sign, then it's fine to announce in a tweet that there's a WrestleMania match because it was very clear after that. This wasn't very clear it was very clear to us because we're on the internet and this has been a report for weeks now. But for the people that watch it week to week, it would have been nice to just establish it on screen before the tweet. Just me.
Okay. I appreciated that they did it beforehand because it was one less thing I had to write during the show. So that is where I'm coming from on this. Multi-man match at WrestleMania. It makes sense. They've been setting it up and Dominic should win. That's my official call. Dominic should win.
He's the one that makes the most storyline sense, and it furthers the big storyline going into the matchup, which is the dissension in the Judgment Day.
Does he pin Finn? Like Braun hits like the spear on Finn, and then Dominic does the kick out of the ring type gimmick, and then he pins. He's like, "Oh, what should I?" And Liv's like, "Okay, pin," and then he just pins Finn. That's where I would go.
No, you know what they do? They do Braun spears him. At the same time, it's like Finn's already down, and then Penta gives a destroyer to Dom, and he flips right onto Finn. And then Braun and Penta are too busy fighting each other. 1, 2, 3, as Dom's on top of Finn.
Penta and Braun look stupid in that. I don't know about that one. Yeah, they look kind of dumb. I wouldn't make them look super dumb there.
Or Braun spears him and he hits his head at the same time. He's concussed. There you go.
Dom should win though. That's our main point here. Is that Dominic Mysterio should get the victory and become the new Intercontinental Champion. Another WrestleMania match that was set up is Rey Mysterio against El Grande Americano. El Grande Americano won in a trios match or through six-man tag by having a steel plate in his mask. That kind of ruled. That was good thinking there. Of like, hey, why wouldn't we put like an object here so we could do, loaded headbutts out there? I respected that. And then Ray said, no, I don't want to face Chad Gable. I want to face El Grande Americano. Do you think they make this mask versus mask next week?
They should have just announced it as that. I feel like that's what Ray should have said that he wanted. He wanted mask. He's like, I'm willing to put. He's disrespecting, my heritage. He's disrespecting what I love the most. So I'm willing to put my mask on the line to unmask him and reveal that this is Chad Gable. But the fact that it's not mask versus, it hasn't been announced as mask versus mask. I don't think they're going to add it last minute. And I think that El Grande Americano is going to win in his WrestleMania debut.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't know about that. I do think it'll end up being mask versus mask, honestly. Like I think next week El Grande Americano is gonna like cut a promo and talk about how important the mask is and his lucha legacy. And then Ray's gonna come out and interrupt and be like, if it's so important, why don't you put your mask on the line? And that's how they set it up. I'm not mad at El Grande Americano winning and them kind of continuing this bit for a little while, as long as they stop, leaning out of what they were leaning into the past, with the Gulf of America type thing. Like I'm just doing the fake luchador bit, all for that. Chad Gable pulls it off nicely. Stop leaning into stuff. You got enough idiots on this show who lean into that stuff.
I think that the Grande Americano stuff has just started, so you gotta keep it going for just a little while longer. So that's why I think that it's not going to be mass versus mass, and Americano gets the win. I really enjoyed the trios matchup. I thought it was a lot of fun. I tend to forget because they don't wrestle that much, but Dragon Lee, Joaquin Wild, and Cruz del Toro are really good. They're really fun as a trio, like them doing the stereo tope con helos, and you could tell Dragon Lee has the most hops because he's the only one that didn't even touch the top rope when they do that. That was a lot of fun. The action was fast paced. You had Julius Creed busting out the shooting star press at one point, so everybody in the matchup really balled out in this one. This was a lot of fun here, and this was probably what I thought it would be like the WrestleMania match originally. I thought it would be El Grande Americano and the Creeds versus Rey and the Lucha Bros, but this was a nice consolation prize before they set up the real WrestleMania match of Rey Mysterio versus Americano. And Americano made. They missed out on the opportunity to call them that. I think that would have been very smart.
They'll probably get to it. They'll realize their mistake, and they'll get to it.
I'm here to help.
Gunther came out, and before he could speak, Jey Uso's music hit. No colorful shirts, no yeet, all black because he's dressed for Gunther's funeral at WrestleMania 41. Doesn't yeet on his way down. Gets in the ring, smacks the mic out of Gunther's hand, and then he says, "You got a mom? You got a mom, Gunther?
Yeet.
You got a family?
Yeet.
You talk to your family?" I had to talk to my mom. My mom said, "Why's your brother in the hospital?" That's right, he's in the hospital. You laid him up there with stitches. My mom said, "Why didn't you do anything, Joshua?"
Then the crowd finally got the memo. When he said he got afraid, then the crowd probably got the memo. He was like, "Oh, we shouldn't be saying this." Okay. I was like, were you like, did y'all should have got it from when he's doing this? He literally is like chill. He's like basically like chill. I'm trying to get serious here, and they still wouldn't stop. I was like, you fucking idiots! No wonder you had the worst Love Is Blind season.
I hope his mom actually like did say yeet though on the phone. She's just like, "Why is Jimmy in the hospital? Yeet. Why didn't you do anything, Joshua? Yeet. Why didn't you protect your brother, Joshua? Yeet." She just did it too. I felt bad for Jey. He's trying to deliver this emotional promo, and the crowd is just yeeting after every line. I was like, man, this is what y'all cultivated, though. This is what happens when you make that word or any word your one big thing. You're gonna get these chants during it. The crowd finally did calm down after Jey was like, "Can y'all shut the hell up, please?"
No, it wasn't even after all of that. It was literally like the middle of his promo. While. They finally were like, "Oh, we shouldn't be doing it. Okay, we should be listening. Oh, okay." And you had these people online being like, "Oh, this has been much better than the European crowd." Man, seriously, this is just wrestling crowds. It's not European crowds. It's not American crowds. Wrestling crowds just don't get good timing on stuff.
Dude, Gunther should have played into it when he's like, "Jimmy's in the hospital." Gunther should have just gone yeet. That's what should happen next week if they do another confrontation. Just Gunther does the yeets for him on there. That was a great promo by Jimmy. After the yeeting stopped and everything, Jey. Oh,
you scare everybody?
Harlem's yeeting into the room.
She yeeted the door at me. Yeah. She's wearing her scary mask, but she didn't want to scare everybody. She ran away.
So Jey finally says, I came to a realization, like, I'm not afraid anymore. And the night before WrestleMania, I'm going to lay down. I'm going to say a prayer. I'm going to say it for you. I'm going to say it for me and what I'm going to do to you. So I'm going to take that title and I'm going to get you. Gunther looked very afraid. Gunther was like, oh, shit. I might have fucked up. I might have done a little too much to this man and his family. It was a great promo by Jey. After, especially the yeets made it great, honestly. Just the fact that they were there, like, he's just trying to do this promo and they're still yeeting. Like, I thought it made it even better. If he would have just gone out and just done his regular promo, like he'd done the same promo, still would have been very good. But the fact that they were yeeting to start, I was like, you know what? This makes it even better. Great promo from Jey. What were your thoughts on it?
This is what you deserve for creating this monster. This is what you deserve, is people yeeting about murder. But no, this promo was probably the most emotional and serious promo that Jey Uso has done, and it felt like a money promo. You got the intensity of this rivalry was turned up the notch. He set the perfect tone, talking about family, talking about what he usually talks about with his mother, turning it into, you know, what happened to Jimmy and what Gunther did to Jimmy, talking about how the story, the overarching story of this whole rivalry has been that Gunther is dominant over Jey Uso, and that Jey Uso hasn't wanted to admit that he's scared of Gunther because he's 0-3 against Gunther and what Gunther has done to him. But now what he did to his brother has let that fear go away, and now he knows what he has to do. He has to become a man that he did not want to become, to destroy the bully, to destroy the person who has been causing all this doubt to get into his head, and he has to overcome it all to become a world champion for the first time. But he's not trying to do it just for him. He's doing it for his family now, because that's been the overarching theme of the Jey Uso character since he became a breakout single star in 2020. Is his family means so much to him. His family is the reason he wanted to be the tribal chief, to lead the family and fight back against Roman Reigns originally. It was because of the family that he joined forces with Roman Reigns and became the right-hand man of the bloodline. It was because of family that he had to bring Jimmy into the fold when Jimmy was against joining forces with him and Roman in the bloodline. He had to bring the family all together then. It was because of the family that he fought back against Sami Zayn coming into the bloodline. Like, his family and his love for his family has always been a character trait for Jey. So Gunther, I thought was even though I thought this was one of Jey Uso's best promos ever, Gunther is what puts it over the top, because his reaction, going from smiling in his face, he's wearing this Pee Wee Herman Mr. Beam-esque suit at the same time. He's laughing and smiling as he comes down with the yeet. He's rolling up his sleeves like, oh man, I'm gonna have to bloody him like I did his brother last week. But his words and how calm Jey was at first, and the more fire that he showed, it really got to Gunther like, oh fuck, what did I do? Nah, this is not the reaction I expected. I expected you to come out here and you to fight me. Because originally when Jey comes into the ring and he's about to talk, I'm like, why are you not fucking him up? He fucked up your brother. He put your brother in the hospital. You should be angry right now and attack him. But it was because he set it all up and the tone was right. And he built up to show that fire, and then he's stepping forward and Gunther stepping back at the same time. The subtle touches of this promo is what made this a money promo, in between the great angle from last week with Gunther bathing in the blood of Jimmy Uso and the intensity that Jey showed in this promo. They have really turned this build around. They just have to stick the landing next week, and maybe all you need is a video package or a pull apart brawl, because you know Triple H loves that. He just shakes his 8-ball and be like, what should I do for the go home show? Oh, pull apart brawl. I guess it's that again. But maybe he does that to kind of even drive up the intensity even further. But they have really turned around this buildup in a very productive way. unlike Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. I do think that they hate each other, but they have not turned around their build in a productive way. I still think it's one of the worst builds ever, but I don't think that about Jey Uso and Gunther anymore. This one has the fire, this one has the intensity, and you're making people want to see Jey Uso win the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, and that was a key. And I think that promo last night did it even more than the beatdown on Jimmy did.
Just wait until Charlotte comes out on Friday and leaks all the DMs that she's been getting from Kaiser. I agree with you that Gunther's selling of this promo made it even better. And the way he started off of just like, I gotta beat up this dude. Haha, yeah, your brother's in the hospital. That shit's funny to me. Like, that's what I did to him. And then slowly realizing, oh, I might have screwed up. Oh, this is a different guy than the comedy guy who trips over himself as he goes for a spear and can't do a dive to the outside. I might have screwed up here. His selling of this promo was fantastic. I do like that Mama Uso doesn't watch the product at all. Like, what happened to your brother? Well, Mom, I got zip tied by the world heavyweight champion. Nobody came out to help us, and he bloodied him. Maybe, we got 1,800 family members. Maybe one of them would have thought to help me out here, but no.
Go call Joe. Go call Joe and ask him why he wasn't at Raw last week in London.
Joe wasn't around. Solo wasn't around. Nobody. We got, how many cousins we got, Mom? Why couldn't one of them help us out? Huh? Nobody came out. His damn wife acting a fool on SmackDown over there, pushing people off of parking decks. Talk to her. I'm over here zip tied.
No excuses. No excuses. I like Mama Uso.
Mama Uso is just like, no excuses.
He was probably like I was zip tied, but she was like, no, tell me the real reason. Tell me the real reason. It's not that. And then that's what he was like. I was scared. Mama. I'm sorry, Mama. And yeah, we didn't mention with the opening segment that Adam Pearce botched and said that Rhea Ripley was representing the Judgment Day. And he didn't even fix it. He didn't even be like, my bad. I love how WWE just sometimes just wants you to forget that they just fucked up.
Just look, honestly, that's smart. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, my bad. Like, don't call attention to it. Just say it, move on, and that's it. Like, you don't need to call attention to it even further. I don't blame him for being like, sorry, you're not part of Judgment Day anymore. Like, yeah, dummy, watch the product. Adam Pearce doesn't watch the product either. So none of these people watch this show.
He gets paid to watch the product, but he doesn't watch it.
Does he get paid to watch it? Like, he gets paid to like govern it, which he doesn't do a very good job of. So it's actually understandable that he doesn't watch it. Honestly, he probably does think Rhea's still in Judgment Day. Maybe that's why, like, when Finn and Dom went to talk to him about title matches, he's like, oh, I bet they would like it if Rhea was in the women's world title match as well. You know what? I'll do that favor for them. Judgment Day Unite. So honestly, you can explain it in that way. Buy it. With Bailey and Lyra won. And they're gonna be friends on Friday. Match was good.
Match was really good. Yeah. I thought it was a really good opener to the show. This was her best title defense so far.
Like her only title defense.
No, she defended against Lyra. She's defending against Dakota Kai. Defending against huh?
She is Lyra.
My bad. I meant I in my head I said Ivy Now, but I said Lyra. I did. Lyra beat the Ivy Now. She beat Dakota. She beat Raquel Rodriguez. This was the best one though, because Bailey, you actually believed that Bailey could get the victory here. So it made the near falls and the different submissions that they were doing, and they had the crowd behind them as well. So really enjoyed this matchup with Bailey, and Bailey was a good opponent for Lyra here. And yeah, they're going to team up on Friday, where I looked at all the teams. Isn't it quite obvious they're going to win?
Yeah. I know we joked yesterday about what if you do like Nikki and Alexa or something, or you just have Rhea come in, and now that she's in this title match, that's a little out of the picture. But yeah, it seems like Bayley and Lyra are gonna win because the rest of the teams, it's like, I don't know where they're going, what's happening there. So I'm glad we got these mid-card title for the women, so one can be involved in the women's tag team match, and the other cannot have a match on the show so far.
No, she's gonna face Zelina Vega on the SmackDown WrestleMania.
I was about to say, if they do that at WrestleMania, boy, that crowd ain't gonna react too much to it.
No. I love there was somebody who tweeted like, "Oh, we might get as many as 6 women's matches at WrestleMania this year because they still have to defend the mid-card titles." I was like, where did it say that they were defending the mid-card titles?
Yeah. I do hope like it'd be a very short build, and I wouldn't like that, but I would still love if we got Chelsea and Nikki on this show, Nikki Bella. I would love if they could get that on the show, but you're looking at a 2-week build for that, and I just don't know if they're gonna do that short of a build for that match. But I hope they got something for Chelsea. It can't be Zelina. Maybe they do. They can't do a 6-woman either. You can't do Zelina and KC squared against Chelsea and the Secret Hervis. You're just asking those poor girls to be in a death spot. Like, no knock on Zelina.
Do Zelina and the Bella twins versus
at least
Chelsea and the Secret Hervis.
All right, at least there's like something to that, since the Bellas got their legend status. But man, Zelina got new music the other week, and people were like, "Oh man, Zelina's got new." I was like, "Did she?" I don't know what her old music was. I couldn't tell you what her new music is. You could have told me like this was the same theme. I would have agreed to that too. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. I do. Okay, Chelsea with the Divas Invitational. Yeah, and then it's answered by Nikki. I like that. I like that idea, Ryan.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I gotta get Chelsea on this show one way or another. Like they have to. She's been too good of a performer to just be left off the show.
I agree with you there. Chelsea's been great in her role as U.S. champion. I've made the argument before, and I'll make it here. I don't think she necessarily needed the U.S. championship to be a great character because she was already a really entertaining character, but she's used it to make a new variation of her character with the whole Chelsea Green administration and the Secret Hervis. So I like what she's been able to do with the title and make it interesting, but she hasn't put on that many matches and nothing that's really
she's
that noteworthy.
Michin a million times.
Yeah, she's just faced Michin a bunch of times. That's been the one person she's been defending this title against. So yeah, it's not the best use of the mid-card title, and it looks like right now I would say that she's not going to be on the WrestleMania card. I'm willing for WWE to prove me wrong, but right now it just doesn't look good.
I like the Divas Invitational idea. I think that would be good. And then someone mentioned, Zeno are saying save Chelsea and Nikki for Evolution 2. That's fine if you save that. I still like the Divas Invitational, and then maybe somebody else answers it in that match. They got plenty of divas they could pull back from. What's AJ Lee doing?
Not that. Saraya Paige.
She's the anti-diva though. So
there you go. She's the anti everything that Chelsea represents. That makes sense.
All right, you could do that. Yeah, Michelle McCool will be there for the Hall of Fame. Victoria. See, it's got to be.
I'm good on Michelle McCool. I see enough of her on LFG.
Oh, that's the thing. She's got to win the title, and then she can go to LFG season 2 and be like, "I'm the only champion here. I'm a championship caliber coach, reigning, defending women's United States champion," and that's our big accolade on the show.
Like LFG right now feels like one of those like sitcoms or like teen dramas when they introduce a new character while the old characters are still there, but it's just to set up that new character is going to take the place of one of the old characters that you really like. That's what LFG has become with Michelle McCool showing up quite often.
They should have done the. They should have done the just replacement bit, the Aunt Viv bit, and it's Michelle McCool.
She's always
there.
been here.
Yeah,
she's always been here.
They just act like she's always been the coach, and it was never Mickie James. Like, wow, you got blonde hair all of a sudden. Like, what are you talking about? She's been here the whole time.
I picked this team right from the beginning, right, guys, right, guys. I handpicked every one of you.
Trish and the Bellas against Chelsea and the Secret Harvest. I like that idea. Any idea that gets the Bellas on the show, because for some reason she just returned and then went away.
Yep. Dumb. Kind of like Alexa Bliss. Everybody who got a big pop in that women's Royal Rumble towards the end is just did that one off and then they're gone.
Alexa at least was in the Elimination Chamber allegedly. She at least got
Trish was at Elimination Chamber. So
I'm saying Nikki's just gone. She's doing her podcast, acting like she's gonna come back, but then nothing.
Yeah.
Anything else from Raw?
Anything else from Raw? No, I think we talked about pretty much everything. I'll talk more about it on Rated Raw review in what is that? An hour and a half? Yeah, that should be fun. Hopefully, Top Guy JJ joins me. He hasn't answered any of my messages. And Romeo has taken the day off because Romeo runs away from the grind. That's the theme. So
how many days off does Romeo have?
I don't know. This guy just had a day off. He had a birthday. He didn't ask him for anything. He has to take a day off. He did the AEW Dynasty watch party, and he was like, I need 2 days off after that.
What? You're supposed to be working more after these big shows, not taking days off.
I agree. I haven't taken 1 day off since the big show.
You take the day off like when there's a lull and things after you do all of the work. Not there was so much to do. Let me take a day off. Is Joel Pearl out here?
Yeah, I'm gonna take like 2-3 days off from content when after WrestleMania week.
Yeah, I'm gonna need another day off after WrestleMania weekend. Not after, but Monday we got to review the show. Tuesday we got stuff to do, and like Thursday or so, then it's like, okay, let me regather myself after all of this. That's why I'm taking Thursday this week. Like, let me prepare myself for what's to come, because it's about to be a lot.
That's a good idea. I might tell Jimmy we do Rated A Ramble on a Friday that we might have to do Friday for WrestleMania week, because we have to do previews for Stand and Deliver and WrestleMania, so might have to reschedule A Ramble for Friday next week. So we'll see how that goes, but maybe the week following I do Friday as well, because then I have to preview freaking Rebellion for the following weekend, and then there's also the Stardom show.
Okay, cares about Rebellion? That thing doesn't actually exist.
I agree, man. I'm like dreading Rebellion because I already know we're gonna see 2 new champions that I'm probably not gonna be happy about.
Tessa and Frankie Kazarian?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it's bleak. It's very bleak. I think Joe Hendry's going to retain.
I would hope so, because they had completely Daniel Garcia his freaking TNA World Championship run.
This might go down as like one of the worst world title runs in history. Like any company, I don't care. This reign has been awful, especially like when you compare popularity, because like Jinder's title run wasn't good, but like Jinder wasn't really that popular when he got the title. It was a thing because they were trying to increase the audience in India and everything, but like no one was like clamoring for a Jinder Mahal title win. People were clamoring for a Joe Hendry title victory. Like they wanted that. They had Joe Hendry in the Rumble. They had him on NXT. They wanted him to be that guy. And this is what they gave him.
They Tyler Blacked him. I always compare. That's like the main, like in the modern era. That's the one where I always remember because I was a big Ring of Honor fan, and they kept honey dicking Tyler Black winning, aka Seth Rollins, for anyone who doesn't know. Seth Rollins Ring of Honor world title match. They did that whole 60-minute matchup at Final Battle 2009, and still he didn't win. And then they dragged it out until the anniversary show a few months later, and then he won it there. And then by the time he won it, like a few months later, he signs with WWE. So you basically, yeah, that's what it feels like with TNA. TNA has basically, they dragged out, he should have won it at Bound for Glory. They dragged it out till January where he won it there. And then they gave him just basically here, damn nigga, here. Like that type of run. Like, all right, God, you guys really want this. Here's the title, because they don't really care. And they don't really have a main event scene. And the two guys that should be in the main event scene who are having the best feud are not in the world title scene when they should be, with Mike Santana and Mustafa Ali.
Yeah. It's been a terrible reign. Anyway, tune into Rebellion in a couple of weeks, and Sacrifice next week, and Impact allegedly every Thursday.
No, you're talking about Unbreakable.
Unbreakable, sorry. Sacrifice already happened.
Yeah, Unbreakable is next week, and then the week after that, 10 days later, is Rebellion.
Yeah, sorry. Apologies to.
Because why would you possibly want to spread out shows?
Well, they gotta run WrestleMania weekend, so they just put.
Do they?
What show is next weekend?
It's Unbreakable.
Sorry.
It's wrecking Jeremy's mind to think about the TNA show.
I can't think of the name of the show. I called it Rebellion and Sacrifice like 3 seconds after you corrected me and said it was Unbreakable. I still called it what it's not called. It's a TNA show. That's all I know. Allegedly.
It's gonna crown a new TNA international champion.
Yeah. Allegedly. LFG.
It is time for SP3 to review C-level WWE shows, and this time we're talking about legends and future greats, WWE LFG. I saw someone in the chat who is not used to this. Maybe they don't tune in on Thursdays, and they're like, oh, SP3. I forget the comment. I don't want to scroll through, but I think I remember it saying, oh, SP3, I'm ashamed. How would you lower yourself to watch that? And I'm like, do you not know this is the best WWE show around? Better than Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Better than 3 hours of Smack. I mean, it doesn't take much to be better. TNA Impact is better than 3 hours of SmackDown. Ring of Honor TV is better than 3 hours of SmackDown. Yes, I would go that far. Yes, Main Event is better than 3 hours of SmackDown. But WWE LFG is the most. WWE LFG is more entertaining. It's more thrilling than any of the WWE main shows. Better than NXT too, with their stupid booking and booking Ava like she's the worst general manager in professional wrestling. The best general manager in professional wrestling is the LFG general manager, who I have unofficially made Alicia Taylor, because she introduces all the legends to the future greats and has them judge them, and she goes through everything. She's like the Ryan Seacrest of LFG. Shout out to Alicia Taylor, the general manager of LFG. But this week on LFG, we had our special guest for the week was Diamond Dallas Page, DDP. Bang! Self high five. He was there to teach them about signature moves, and we basically saw the legends basically teaching the future greats and going through like a brainstorm of what their signature moves should be. For Team Bully, we'll start off with Team Bubba. Team Bully Ray is being a jerk again. he gets into a whole shouting match with Chris Island, who is on Team Mickey, because he says, I was joking with Danny. I was making a joke. She gets my sense of humor. Where he was asking her to come into the ring, and because one of his people wanted to try out their signature move on Danny because she's the smallest, and she's like, "Oh, I'm not cleared. I can't wrestle this week." And he was like, "You're useless. You're useless." He was joking, but Chris Island didn't realize he was joking, and he was like, "No, she's not useless." And he was like, "Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Don't talk. I wasn't talking to you. I wasn't talking to you." And Chris Island was like, "I'm defending my teammate. I'm defending my teammate. I'm not one of your students right now." And then he says, "Coach," he says, "Mom," to Mickey James. Mickey James comes over and is like, "What is going on? What is going on?" Bully's like, "Oh no, you need to teach your man some respect." And even in the confessional, Mickey's like, "I don't think Chris did anything wrong. He's defending his teammate." Like, I think she was like, "I'll just put it at that." She didn't want to say that Bully was wrong, but she was like, "I'll just put it at that. Chris was not wrong." So hey, Sean came for the LFG review. What's up, Sean?
I have watched every minute of nationally broadcast wrestling television since 1995 until LFG.
Come on, what are you doing? It's the best WWE show.
This includes Total Divas and Total Bellas and Ms. and Mrs. I'm a big Marjo guy.
Oh, Marjo is a go. You need to watch LFG. It's Tough Enough done right.
Tough Enough done right. I think Tough Enough was Tough Enough done right.
Except
except for the fact that Tough Enough, like the winners were always like, what on earth are we talking about? Like, that's the thing. The Tough Enough formula almost always was, I can't believe this person actually won. Like, all due respect to to Andy Levine, who is still like in his mid-30s, by the way.
They should have picked the heel that season.
Then.
The heel that season was great. He was great.
And the late Sarah Lee, wonderful, wonderful lady. But like, Daniel Puder was actually the one where people were like, yeah, right person probably won here, but it wasn't the right person at all. I remember they did the big swerve season 2. They're like, it's actually 2 women. Oh, and they were both not good at all. Kenny King should have won that season. The first season, I'd say probably the right people won. Chris Nowinski could have also won, and it would have been fine. But John Morrison and Capitelli, I like that one as well. 2011 was horrible. 2015 was horrible. Especially looking back and seeing that Chelsea Green was a part of that season, and another gentleman that I don't know. Jeremy, why haven't you fired the other guy on Tough Enough yet?
Well,
Patrick,
we've looked into things.
Why haven't you fired him?
Yeah. We've looked into things, and it's been okay. So,
okay. Have you looked into your Waffle House order?
We talked about that earlier. He asked Tony Storm. If you're gonna ask anybody this type of question, is it Tony Storm the person to ask?
And hear me out. I don't care who he asks.
Yeah, he asked The Rock previously.
I have used I saw somebody, a journalist, calling him an asshole. I was like, you don't know this man. And also, like, I just want to let you all know, Malcolm could snap you all like a twig, and it wouldn't be particularly difficult for him. He's just a really great, nice guy. And I'll have people that will message me, and they'll be like, didn't that bother you? I'm like, I didn't watch the presser. I've got what? They're pointless to watch.
Yes.
It's content
I have to watch
the company. Them. And even beyond Malcolm's question, like, you'll have people that act like these are waterboarding sessions. Like, we're holding down Tony Khan and Triple H. You've got to answer. You've got to answer. Come on, man. Like, I understand, but these are largely kayfabe at this point, which is why I almost never go. Sean, have you watched WoW? Unfortunately, I've watched far too much WoW. That's another one I'm going to give up moving forward.
I gave up on WoW and NWA last year. That was my New Year's purge of certain shows. But I picked up LFG. I'm telling you, Sean. I'm giving you a firm recommendation. LFG is where it's at. Even I'm even blocked by one of the coaches, and I still watch.
Bully.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I mean, unfortunately, I watched WoW. I mean, I was aware of who Nikita Lyons was like 6 years ago as a result, because she was on WoW back then.
Great
but
rapper.
Now, I mean, now NXT promos are just wow. So
they are.
That's what it is. I told Izzy off air when we did our interview, I was like, Izzy, I'm not joking. If you go to NXT, you are a top 3 women's promo immediately. Like that's how bad I think their promos generally are by delivery. What did ZZ do to you? ZZ was very charming, but like, come on, man. Come on.
He didn't want to work.
Yeah. Josh was somebody I thought probably could have been good, but like the whole Yeti gimmick, it's what on earth are we doing here? That's how you know these people aren't wrestling fans, because it's always like the idea of what wrestling is. Like The Miz, when he first did the real world thing, like that would not have worked as The Miz. He had to become the former reality TV show guy who a lot of people believe got Nepo babied in as a result of that, as opposed to the work that he did. He leaned into that. But like, oh, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be the Yeti. And okay, cool. We get it. We get it. Well,
we need more of that. Are you kidding me?
Absolutely not. That's what you're going to see in the TKO era. You're going to see an awful lot of that. You're going to see a lot of influencers doing that. Meanwhile, you have Fluffy on his Chris Van Vliet clip saying, yeah, I'd be the landlord. My finisher would be the eviction. That rules. That rules. Rent's about to go up, buddy. That type of stuff. Hell yeah. He's a wrestling fan. But I am not looking forward to this influencer era of where a lot of people think that they have an idea of what pro wrestling is. And they watch it once and they're like, oh, well, this is who I'll be. No, who you will be is the guy who streamed that WWE wants to get you to put out their stuff to your 1 million followers or whatever it might be. That's what you will be to them, just so you know.
Do your reaction videos.
Or you can be Logan Paul. Somebody said open the door for the cat. He's good. You can be Logan Paul, who changes his gimmick every week. Like every week it's a new thing. Like 1 week he's like, oh, I'm so humble and all that stuff. And I'm like, listen, buddy, I did that gimmick 7 years ago with Melissa on Listen You Boy. Get something else. So he got something else. Then he changed it the next week too. I'm like, what?
I'm so rich. I'm so rich now. You're broke.
Yeah, you're poor. Which at first I was like, they ain't poor. They're at a WWE show. But then he did say the right thing. He's like, well, if you weren't poor before, you are now because you're at a WWE show. And I was like, okay, I think he healed on the wrong person there, but all right. But he did have points there. It was, I saw the vision there. That was pretty solid.
Logan's the smartest man in wrestling. He knows who the real poors are. It's the people who spend the money after the WWE events. He knows you don't need to eliminate 29 people from the Rumble. You only got to eliminate one. Like all these people, I got to toss out 29. No, why? That's dumb.
There are a lot of times when people from outside wrestling see those common sense things, and you're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Like specifically, that's why I'll watch a lot of stuff with my wife. And I'll be like, hey, please point out anything that you just think is very, very unusual. Like, why did they do that? And
yeah,
like I guarantee you, everybody that is not a wrestling fan would say, why didn't CM Punk just come out with Paul Heyman last night?
That's what we said earlier. Yes,
but also
we know Punk's there. He's advertised.
He was hanging out with Bert Kreischer earlier, or Bert Kirshner, as Excalibur calls him. But like it does play into Seth Rollins saying that Punk doesn't really care about Heyman too. So maybe there's something there, but there's a lot of wrestling tropes that I wish would go away. A lot of them.
Well,
anyway,
get ready for all of them next week because it's mainly
I just saw a Dave Meltzer tweet. It said, the thing about Hinchcliffe last night is, boy, was he not funny at all.
That's funnier than anything Tony said.
Yes, that is much funnier.
Too.
At all.
Like, if you were using that to promote a Netflix special or the roast of WrestleMania, that would keep you as far away from either one of those. And like, I hate the things that he said, like about Puerto Rico and among other things. I've heard him say some funny things in the past. I've never sought out his comedic work as a result of any of those things. But I don't know how. I think we are hitting an era where it is too much. It has made me look at my own shows and go, I need to plug less stuff. That's how bad it is in WWE right now with that.
Come on, we had the Love Is Blind crossover last night.
Yeah, we always enjoyed that.
I would rather literally be blind than to watch that show.
Oh, how dare you? I mean, that season they were on fair. That season
I would rather mow my lawn with my eyeballs than to watch that show.
How does that work?
Exactly.
That would hurt.
Yeah, that's the point. Would rather than.
That feels tough.
Sounds horrible. Horrible.
Hey,
I don't know how
seasons
anybody
are good.
can watch these phony ass reality shows, including LFG.
LFG is great. What are you talking about?
I don't know how anybody can watch any of them.
It's the realest. Jasper Troy.
I gotta be honest with you. I gotta blame Bam Margera a little bit for this, because everybody was so excited when Viva La Bam came out, and I was like, hell yeah, spinoff with the people that I like. And then I started to realize, okay, not everybody in the city is going to refuse to feed Phil Margera. Like, this is scripted, isn't it? And I was so heartbroken as a kid, as a teenager, watching this. I was like, this isn't real. I was more bothered by that than finding out Santa Claus wasn't real or finding out that wrestling wasn't real. By far. I was just like, oh, man.
I can totally believe everybody would not feed Phil. It's all playing into the bit. Bam has gotten on them. They're all in the payroll. They're all in the take. I bought it. Don't ruin the magic, Sean.
Yeah, don't ruin it.
They ruined the magic for me.
What about when he blew up his house?
I don't remember that one.
Oh.
It's like when Tom Green stopped being funny when they tried to bring it back. It was funny.
I gotta say, buddy, I watched Freddie Got Fingered last year. I had not watched it since it came out, since like the first year it came out. Now, keep in mind, I rewatched Waiting a year and a half ago. It did not age nearly as well. Like, and I thought that was the funniest movie ever when it came out. But I was like, okay, maybe I've just matured too much. Dare I say, Freddie Got Fingered aged way better. Because I watched it at the time and I was like, this guy is a nut. Even though I watch his TV show, he's crazy. He's just doing it to do it. Now I think he's a genius. Now I think that Tom Green is an absolute genius. And when I saw things in that movie, I couldn't help but to watch them. I couldn't help but to look at the screen. Oh, man. Insane. The moose? When he put the moose on himself?
Look at me, I'm a moose.
Man,
Tom Green was a genius. The walking around and interviewing people with poo on a mic. Come on, who was doing stuff like that in the late 90s? Come on.
I remember when he put out the Bum Bum song.
Yes, and it went to number one on TRL because he pushed it.
And they made him go on the show and retire it because the next week's show was already in the can from spring break, and it had no mention of that song existing. So they're like, how do we do this? Uh-oh. And you know what I would have done? I would have done a storyline. Like, it's getting banned from MTV for 1 week. That would have promoted his show. They got to get more pro wrestling into it. They need to LFG it up is what they need to do.
See, now you're getting it. You're getting it. LFG is where it's at.
If The Miz was producing it, he would have made it happen.
There we go.
Jeremy, you had a typo in the Ric Flair article. I'm afraid that you are going to be suspended for a week. Instead of GGL, you put GFL. Which I mean, clearly you have those 3 initials on your mind.
Yeah.
Listen, buddy. Oh, now my cat wants out. So look at him, little lovely little gentleman. All right, guys, I'm getting out of here. Oh my God, the cancer episode.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the intro to that. The funniest opening line I have ever seen, where they show him in the Bum Bum song, and he says, "My bum is on the cheese. My bum is on the cheese. If I get lucky, I'll get a disease." And it cuts to him, and he says, "Well, I got lucky." That was the greatest opening line in TV history. It's incredible. Incredible. All right, guys. I'll see you later.
Bye, Sean.
Yeah, Sean. Oh, man.
Let his cat out. You got to get through the LFG review. We'll just pop Sean back on. Oh no, he left.
We've run out of time, so I'm gonna finish the LFG review on Thursday. Yeah. Sean came in and got me on a Tom Green binge. Now I'm gonna watch Tom Green. I'm also gonna review that on Thursday.
SP3 will be back on Thursday. I will pop on Thursday. I will not be here for the whole show. Joe will be around for the whole show. SP3, anything to plug?
I will be live in 1 hour on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel to review Rated Raw review. So join me and Top Guy JJ, hopefully, by my side to review last night's Monday Night Raw. If not, it will just be me, and it will be a much shorter review. But hopefully, I see all of you out there to show some love. We do have another super chat, I think.
Yeah, Ten Ruza did leave a super chat. I was gonna hit that after you got done with the plugs, but he says Stockholm syndrome with the Fed needs to be studied. I don't know what that's in reference to, but it's probably in reference to a lot of things.
We'll talk about LFG, where I want to break down all the finishing moves that we got. We had the upper cutter, we had the upper cutler for Cutler James, and we had Xena, who had the whatchamacallit, which is a tilt-a-whirl side slam.
There you go.
So we're gonna talk all about that Thursday.
More LFG review. I'll be back tomorrow with Joe Pearl. Until then, bye everybody.